Hey everybody, this is Mark Smith, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with a update on what is happening with ProveZero. Got with me here Paul Tancredium from Interstellar Marketing, and Matt Merrill and Ben from Elevate. So today is July 27th, 2022. This is being recorded, Ask Me Anything session. So for those who don't know me, my name is Mark Smith. Background is IT and software development. I'm the host of Digital Roughnecks, which is a show for energy executives, co-founder of Clean Connect and co-founder of ProveZero. So today we're going to talk about a little bit the progress on ProveZero. So the Friends and Family program is closed. Not much to announce there. Going to talk about the overview and timeline, ProveZero marketing, Clean Connect, about us earning a new certification, and then some new proposed specifications that we have, and just an overview of the overall crypto market and potential impact on ProveZero. So just for those who might be new to this and coming in, maybe got invited directly into this AMA, the problem we're solving here is that energy producers, they want to produce clean energy to profit. There's a lot of players that are pressing against them, like our US government, the EPA, with a regulation called Quad O, B, and C. State regulators like Colorado, which I'll talk about today, ESG Investors. There's a global standard called Oil and Gas Methane Partnership 2.0. The SEC now requires climate risk reporting. All of this requires some sort of certified proof of emissions. Just to give you an idea about ESG Investors, so this is a recent headline. After defeating Exxon, engine number one works with oil giants on emissions. So engine number one was the private equity that pressured Exxon to literally changing two board seats. So they call them an activist ESG investor. So they sat down in Houston last week or a couple weeks ago with EDF, Environmental Defense Fund, and basically told them, hey, here's the carrot and stick. Like, if you do these things and continuous monitoring and whatnot, and adopt OGMP 2.0, then we'll continue and invest. And if you don't, we won't. Kind of carrot and stick there. But ESG investors themselves can be audited or fined for greenwashing. So here's an article from Reuters. Deutsche Bank in the EU, literally the guys had to quit or they got fired for greenwashing. So, be careful what you wish for, you ESG investors, because the regulators can come back to you and say, hey, you're greenwashing yourselves. Now, all this, while it's a problem for energy producers and now for banks, it's an opportunity for us, right? Because what we do is we do real-time emission monitoring. So from, we take our computer vision, we tap into their IoT, and we run all that through an intelligent edge running our machine models, and that produces a methane intensity, which we then can create an NFT, which can be traded for tokens, okay? We can then use that to create a Standard & Poor's, that's right, it's the same S&P as in S&P 500, the largest rating organization in the world. We work with them to create a methane performance certificate, which can be sold on the expansive market for a premium. Okay, so we're talking about here in this ProveZero part, but it is influenced by all of these other actors. So a quick overview of the roadmap. So in July 2022, we got our government certification of the Clean Connect platform that generates the data for ProveZero, and I'll explain more about that. We launched our community and we're kicking off our marketing campaign, which I'll talk about. We got the beta of the autonomous creation of S&Ps, MPCs. That's kicking off right now, and we should have the first amount of data in August. September, token pre-launch, September 19th. I put this in there because I think it's important for the overall macro. The Ethereum merge is happening on September 19th. Fall 2022, we launch our token. Guys, we didn't talk about the exact date of this, but let's just say we're creating an application, a decentralized app, DApp, for easy purchase of ProveZero. And fourth quarter, possible introduction of MPC 2.0, which I'll talk about. So on the marketing side, we've created this marketing automation funnel. So what we do is the big idea is to take people who don't know us at all or maybe familiar with the problem. We run ads. We have energy executive webinars, podcasts, press releases, and other influencer marketing. We run them into this page, get ProveZero, gives them a real brief introduction to the big idea. And then they click on one of a couple of buttons. If they're an energy executive, they see a video. Crypto investor, they see a video, and it gets them excited to essentially learn more and give us their information. We always offer a one-on-one meeting because they may be an energy exec who wants to jump in early, or they might be a crypto influencer. So we always offer the ability there. We then do the thank you page, which then offers them the ability to get in the community, Discord, Telegram, LinkedIn. And then they get to this weekly ProveZero AMA, which we're now here. And here we're going to do this over and over again until the token launch. So there you go. This is a marketing automation funnel for ProveZero. Now, I mentioned that we earned this CDPHE, or Colorado Approved Instrument Measurement Method 2.0. So we are now the only government certified continuous monitoring solution available in the world. Now let that sink in. We're it. All the competitors out there for methane monitoring, we're the only government certified one. And it happens to be certified on the toughest regulator in the world, which is Colorado. Now, what we had to do to get that was we had to prove our computer vision AI was equivalent to a human with a FLIR OGI camera doing inspections every month and or continuously, which is a requirement in Colorado for any new site. You got to do continuous monitoring. So it's a type of Turing test, proving that your AI is equivalent to the human. And since Colorado regulations are tougher than US EPA or Canadian EPA and global OGMP 2.0, we now can help our clients qualify for all of these as well autonomously. So the AIM application is being currently this week reviewed by the EPA, and we should be able to announce within 2 weeks, along with our clients, PDC and Civitas. Bottom line, this will increase the adoption of Clean Connect and therefore ProveZero. Very good thing. The macro events that can impact ProveZero. Look, the overall market, right? It's down. The price of ETH and Bitcoin roughly follow the QQQ with the NASDAQ 100 with more volatility. It's called a risk-off asset, meaning when you see people dumping technology stocks, they're typically dumping crypto assets as well. We're in a bit of a recession, as you know. The crypto market, so overall, can impact us. So crypto companies like Celsius, BlockFi, and others causing a sell-off. Now, the Ethereum merge, when there was what's happening now is let's call it Ethereum 1.0. It's merging to 2.0. It's moving from proof of work to proof of stake. There were some delays, so that caused a bit of a sell-off. But now they've announced September 19th, 2022 is the merge. If that's successful, ETH is going to jump. We're a token based on ETH, so that could impact our By the way, so Joey asks, hey, do you have a certificate to prove your AI is equivalent to physical human testing it? Yep, that's what that CDPHE AIM 2 certification is. So yes, we do. Thanks for asking, Joey. And the overall energy market. Right now, even though we're in a recession, as you know, the price of oil is up, which means the price of gas is up and everything else. And it's a worldwide market. All kinds of things affect the energy market, but it's strong. Our clients are doing very well. But also the impact of activist ESG investors and like the EDF greenwashing charges also are out there. That's an impact. Quite frankly, it's why a lot of our clients come to us as well, saying, hey, not only do I need to deal with regulations, I need to deal with these ESG investors. Can you help me? Yes, we can. So it's actually a positive thing. There's also an emerging trend on ESG on financial instruments. So this is the compromise that the financial guys are making with the overall market, saying, all right, well, we can't just pull our money out of energy. That's bad. And there's pushback coming from states like Texas and Wyoming and others that are oil and gas states saying, hey, if you start pulling all your money, then we're going to pull all our money from you. Okay. So what they do is the compromise is, well, okay, we're going to issue these guys loans and bonds and insurance and other things that are sustainably linked. What does that mean? It means they got to prove their emissions. So we see us being able to get involved with all kinds of financial instruments, which I'll talk to you about, because we offer the proof that the client, i.e. the energy company, is producing at a certain methane intensity. And not just oil and gas, by the way. We're now being asked to come in on other energy, from coal to solar, even Bitcoin mining are now clients. So the adoption of Clean Connect Autonomous MPC, that will obviously impact ProveZero price. And let's talk about what that is, right? Because, and what some of the impacts can be. So from a very super high level, right, we have this marketplace, okay? And we can create NFTs, create these methane performance certificates, retire them, create reports, future transaction types. All of these require a gas fee. And when you think about when we execute our smart contracts or do anything there, we're paying gas fees on Ethereum. So the plan here is to shield our clients from any technical stuff. Like for all of you friends and family who saw this, you think, man, this is so technical. I got to set up, Coinbase and set up MetaMask and all this technical stuff. We're going to shield that from our clients, make it super easy for them to do it. And then they'll pay us gas fees for that. And we'll pay gas fees from Ethereum. And then we'll also earn and pay a different exchange here, again, making it automatic to get onto the expansive exchange to create, sell, retire MPCs. Future transaction types. We currently are talking about this energy NFT so that we can produce an S&P MPC. But as I mentioned, there could be loans, there could be insurance, there could be regulatory reporting. All of these will create transactions in the marketplace. So what would that look like, for example? This is illustration purpose only, but imagine a operator got in early, okay? And they're getting in at the same price as some of the early adopters, 0.001. It costs 500 tokens to do a transaction. So their creation of an MPC might only cost them 50 cents each. Pretty cheap, great bargain. But now, later on after the launch, maybe it pops up to 1 cent, okay? And it's the same 500 tokens, so now they're paying $5. Not bad, really. And again, these are for illustration purposes only. Some guy later, might be paying 10 cents each, and so on and so forth. So you can see supply and demand will impact token price. Demand is created by adoption of Clean Connect and the desire for energy companies to prove, certify, or rate their emissions. Again, some of these guys are going to say, hey, I want to be rated by the S&P for my cleanness, so to speak. Demand is created by increasing transactions on the ProveZero marketplace. Early adopters' transaction fees are lower because they bought tokens at a lower price. The token fees will be set based on usage. So these are all subject to change, but you can see how over time supply and demand will impact the token price as utilization goes up. Okay. This MPC 2.0. All right, what's this all about? Well, we have now proposed a standard because of all this pushback on greenwashing and whatever. The industry is talking about needing a higher level standard, okay? Something that can prove it, because the current certificates that are being sold by some of our competitors are problematic, and they don't meet all the criteria that Environmental Defense Fund and others have put out there. So they're now accusing them of greenwashing. So here are the 5 criteria that EDF set out and how we can uniquely meet them. And I mean, we're it, okay? So as I mentioned, it needs to meet regulatory requirements. Step 1, well, because we just got that certification, we can now meet or exceed all the EPA and Colorado LDAR requirements. So we meet this one. Nobody else can do this right now. Meets OGMP 2.0 level 5. We can measure gas at the source, this is key, and site level. Other players can only do it at the site level, for example. Must be third-party verified. We are the third-party verifiers, okay? The methane intensity measured, actual measuring must be at 0.2% or less, and we use computer vision to measure and certify this gas, okay? And certification needs to include a measured site, no cherry picking. This is a huge hole in the other certification systems. For example, other ones like MIQ, for example, you have to, they will certify your entire operations, even if only half your sites are measured. What the EDF says is, can't do that, can't cherry pick. You need to measure each and every site and actually measure the energy you're producing, okay? So this is what we're promoting. The big idea is MPC 2.0, which would be later this year. This would completely differentiate what we're offering. And right now we'd be the only ones who could offer it, okay? So with that, I'll answer some questions. We got a bunch in the queue already here that I'll take a look at. Okay, do you have Yeah, I answered that one here. Do you know what yield farming whitelist winners need to give? Okay, so yeah, we did a we'll call influencer AMA to yield farming, and I will answer that. Let's see. I'll get somebody else on here, or maybe Matt, you'd know the answer to that when the yield farming guys need to come in.
So you guys don't have to worry about that until literally basically the day of launch. So we'll give you guys plenty of heads up, but what you have a white list for is for basically the very ending round of funding. Normally we were going to do like a fair launch or something, but we're starting to turn it more into like a whitelisted launch. So we'll give you guys a link. It should be on I believe Unicrypt is where we're going to have that. So we'll give you guys plenty of heads up, and you'll just need Ethereum. But yeah, we'll give you guys a heads up on that.
So Joey asks, is that specific certification on website? Not yet. And the reason why is we are working with all the parties involved. So two of our clients, the actual CDPHE and us are going to do a joint press release. And as you know, when you're dealing with billion-dollar companies, they've got approvals and stuff like that. But we are actively working on that. So when it goes out, it will be from us, from our clients, from the government, everybody hitting at once. So it will be quite, and then we'll have links inside the press release back to our website for further details and things like that, right? So let's see. So Victor asks, hey, where's the best place to learn about energy markets? Okay. I'm going to plug my own podcast, which is called Digital Roughnecks. So if you were to go to cleanconnect.ai, okay, and you click on podcast, you're going to see a lot of episodes in the archive. If you start following that, you're going to understand sort of the energy market, and what's in this thing that we're covering specifically, the energy transition, which is defined as, as we move from where we are today, okay, primarily oil and gas, right, nuclear, that kind of thing, to some of these other technologies, there is this transition, right, of people doing stuff and measuring things like this. We are definitely in the energy transition company, ProveZero and CleanConnect. So that's a great place to learn. And it's me doing a podcast, and I've got guests on there talking about current topics out there. So for example, a couple episodes ago, I addressed the Supreme Court decision that impacted the EPA and what they could do with emissions. And I got into the details. Now you may say, hey, but that's to energy executives. I need like energy 101, like even more basic. I will get back to you on that, but I do believe that Clean Connect, the Digital Roughnecks podcast, is a great place to start. I think as you get into this too, I'm going to be posting, if you've got any specific questions, as you see now, which pretty much every day there's articles in the Wall Street Journal and other places. I think the Wall Street Journal is a good place to pick up some energy. So it's talked about every day, right? Because of the impact of the Ukraine war, what's going on in Europe, what's going on here, right? What happens every time, like a few days ago, Biden declared a climate emergency, and what's the impact on the energy market? All those kind of things. Or he just announced he's going to reduce or release another, I forget, X number of million barrels from the strategic reserve. What is that? Well, each of those articles are a great place to pick up information and different takes on the energy market. And you'll pick up the lingo, and then Digital Roughneck's another place. Okay. Any more questions that are out there? I kind of blazed through those 5 questions. You guys here on the panel got any?
Yeah, I'll jump in for a second, Mark. So what's going on, guys? I'm Ben, CEO of Elevate. We are the developers on this project. So we're building out smart contract work, the centralized app, as well as possibly the NFT marketplace that will be coming up in the future. So if anyone has any questions about crypto, we have Matt Merrill here, who is our senior developer as well. So we're here on the crypto side or on the tech side. So if there's any questions there, again, we'll be here every week doing this for the next 11 or 12 weeks, and want to make sure that you guys feel completely understood in what the mission is here and how this is going to make such a large impact in the DeFi space, but as well as the energy world. So Paul, if you want to jump in and give your introduction, that'd be great too.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? I'm the CEO of Interstellar. We're the marketing company on the team, working hand in hand with Mark on it. With that said, like Ben said, we're on these every single week. These are all going to be recorded. You can watch back any day, anytime. If you have any questions regarding the marketing, you can definitely come to myself and ask questions regarding that, and we could easily answer.
So I'll let you guys handle Victor's question, Elevate, because it's to you, actually.
Oh, I just saw it. Yeah, I'm starting to be a dev. Is there a place to connect with it? But yeah, for sure, man. If you want to just go to our website, I'll type it in the chat. Let me.
So repeat the question. So Victor
Yeah.
reached out and said, hey, I want to get into crypto development. Can I talk directly to the Elevate guys that are on here now? And the answer is yes. And he's going to put his contact info there.
Yeah, I'll drop the website in. If you want to schedule a call, you'll be able to have the guys on, and we'd love to talk some more with you, man. There's not many crypto developers out there, so sure, absolutely.
Hey, Jonah, please introduce yourself, because you're the ProveZero community manager. So tell them about yourself.
Hey. Yeah. How you guys doing? My name is Jonah. You'll find me in the Discord under Jonah, or StrangeBoyTK is my other account that I use more frequently. I'm super stoked to be a part of this really amazing journey and pretty fantastic team that we got here. You very rarely see projects such as this that are able to not only bridge, Web 2, but real world, or have real world issues and solve them with Web 3. So I'm really excited to be able to be a part of this. I am learning as we go as well. Oil and gas is not my area of expertise by any means, but there's been a lot of great information shared by Mark. Your Digital Roughneck podcasts are very, very informative. So it's always a good time to watch those. Having said that, anybody that's in the Discord, feel free to say hi and say hi to any of the mods that are out there. They are super stoked to be here as well. Yeah, I'm happy to answer any question that you may have. And if I can't answer it, I'll get you the information or shoot you in the right direction.
Yeah, it's funny about energy. I used to not think about it much in the same way, going to Chick-fil-A, not wondering how exactly that chicken showed up in my chicken sandwich, right? Just fill up the gas or turn on the electricity and magic happens. Now that I've got into it and understand literally from the molecules coming up out of the ground all the way into the thing called midstream, and then all that happens there, then downstream and refineries, electrical generators, and there's a whole ecosystem that happens so that you flick on the light and you get electricity, or you go to the pump and you can fill up your gas, or as some of you may have electric cars, you can charge it, right? But a lot of people, a lot of things happen to do that. And so, those of us in the, I call the energy biz, it's hard not to take it a little bit personally when the energy business saying, hey, produce more, but meanwhile, we're going to punch you in the face and regulate you to death. Okay. So our job is to come alongside those energy producers and say, all right, it is what it is. What can we do using the latest and greatest, software and AI and computer vision and every technical to give you a technical advantage? So quite frankly, at some point, this stuff just runs literally while you're sleeping. Things are being monitored and eventually even fixed, which I'm not going to make any announcements here, but that eventually will happen, where MPCs and premiums are being created, where your energy is literally being monitored from the molecule coming out of the ground. And this is the power of these NFTs. This is something that's never been, the industry's wanted to do forever, but never been able to do, which is track a molecule from the ground all the way to the end user when you flick a light on. Okay. Not being able to, how would you do that? Right. And this whole ESG thing, while it's a pain, it's thrown a big data challenge at the market. All right. They have these things which you can find out about: scope 1, 2, and 3. Scope 1 are the emissions that an energy producer produces. Scope 2 are those things, the energy used to produce the energy, which sounds a little meta right there. And then scope 3 is, okay, all the end users. What energy are you doing when you flick on a light, when you drive your car? What emissions are you doing when you use your electronic devices or Bitcoin mine or whatever? Okay. How in the world are you going to track scope 1, 2, and 3 if you can't track from the ground up? Right. So this becomes the basis for some pretty interesting reporting, right? Because for the first time ever, someone could buy energy and go, well, where did this come from? Right now, you have no idea. Okay. But in the future, they look in the NFT and say, well, hey, this came from this producer at this time with this amount of energy, with this emission, methane intensity. Whoa. Okay. That's never been able to be done before. And because I know you did that, I'm going to give you a loan and I'm going to give you a lower rate. I'm going to allow you to do a bond. I'm going to allow you to get your insurance. And if you don't comply, literally this NFT could determine, they're out of compliance. Maybe I need to raise their rate. That sounds like a bad thing, but it's a way to comply without causing these guys to have to hire a literal army of people doing nothing but manual reporting, right? So why do we do all this? So we all can get great, reliable, clean energy at a reasonable price. And we can help clean up, things, because it's all provable. And we can help these operators just pour on the gas, so to speak, to produce more of this stuff, because they know that, when they can sleep at night, knowing it's all being monitored and dealt with. So yeah, it is. I get way into this stuff because it is a real world thing. This is not some, creating some, NFT or whatever that doesn't actually do anything in the real world. This is all real world. This is real world. This is a major, major industry, which is in the news every single day.
100%. I just want to jump in real quick. Mark, you do have 2 more questions here for you, but we got another question from Victor and Steven about dev stuff. So I don't know if you guys can see the answers. Both Matt and I have replied to you in the answers. It says that you could just go to our website, elevatesoftware.io, and you could book a call there, and that's how we could talk some more. So I don't want to interrupt you too much there, Mark, but I want to make sure that they get that answer because it seems the chat is disabled.
I've also pinged the dev cave chat inside of ProveZero. If anybody just in general wants to ask questions to devs, that's the best place to do it.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I am getting all the stuff coming through Q&A, so that's working great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shelby asks, please talk about mechanics in a little more detail for the market pricing or market-based pricing. I think for a methane CTU currently priced at $1,800 a ton. We should think about price as a percentage of CTU like Visa or MasterCard, 8% of the value of the CTU. Dude, CTU, that's another TLA or 3-letter acronym I need to learn. But anyway, yeah, the price, I did talk to Expansive, which is MPCs, and they are doing that in the same units as natural gas. So MMBTUs. So one MPC equals an MMBTU, and they're also doing them in contract chunks that the commodity brokers are buying them in. So I will do that. And I think in the next session, we'll break down, it gets a little bit into the mechanics of commodity markets. Okay. Yeah. The carbon trading unit. Okay. So we'll break down some of the mechanics of how these things are traded and how money flows in the next one. But yeah, and how some of the other tokenomics in there and taxes and other stuff work. Stephen asks, what are the main benefits of using NFTs compared to traditional methods? Well, the traditional methods don't really allow you to track, once that gas is sold, it's gone, right? There's no way, it's a paper transaction. Okay. So it's very difficult. And also too, the current way of tracking stuff, when the EPA requires something called the emissions inventory, and all of these operators have to track their emissions using what's called the emissions formulas. So they're not actual measurements, they're just formulas. Okay. So the problem with that is the world is setting policies based on formulas that actually don't represent real measurements. So that's another big issue. Problem with that is, as you can actually measure, sometimes you could be off from the formulas by 10 times. So we're now pushing the EPA to say, hey, in these emissions inventory, you need to accept actual measurements, not only just accept your formulas. Okay. And operators are pushing on that. So solves a couple of problems. It's actual measurement, and it's being able to track the provenance of something. So here's this energy. I know where it came from, when it was produced, at what methane intensity. So that's unique. It doesn't exist even in traditional methods, really. So let's see. Okay, we answered the question about CTUs. All right, and Stephen just says, hey, he's gonna give you a call there, Ben. So
Yeah, that works. Cool.
All right. Well, anybody else? Any other questions? This is good. So, and if you've got stuff during the week, okay, so you've watched this or you're watching the replay of this and you got some questions, feel free to, you can, if you want, actually, I give you a couple. There's one way to do it would be to put them in the Discord. Another way is I'm going to give you my email in the chat. Hopefully you guys can see it, mark@cleanconnect.ai. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out to Jonah, Mr. Dude with the big beard, and hit him up, and we'll gather all those up. And then when we're preparing, like the day before we do these AMAs, we'll make sure to address those questions.
Yes, and if I may hop in here as well, if any of you are interested in becoming an ambassador or an influencer for ProveZero, if you have a following, you want us to chat with them and learn more about energy and the opportunity that ProveZero is presenting, we have a form that you guys can fill out, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat right now.
Yeah, that is a good point. And, for those of you who say, well, I'm not an influencer, but I definitely want to tell, friends, family, colleagues about this. One thing to do, if you're here, it's probably because you received an invite for this AMA. An easy button would be just for the AMA, say, hey, I went and attended this thing. You ought to go to the next one. Here it is. And once they sign up, that Zoom thing, all the reminder emails, everything's done automatically. And as you know, a lot of people do Zoom, so the Zoom emails are typically whitelisted, so it'll come right through to them, and it's all good. They'll get all the reminders automatically.
And I do want to add, for those folks that maybe don't use Discord or don't feel comfortable there and use LinkedIn instead, we do have a LinkedIn group that you are welcome to join, and you will find all of the same links, all the important links there as well. But there is a channel in the Discord to ask questions, to have them answered, either right then and there or during the next AMA.
Cool. Okay, so Stephen asks, I really like this concept and the way you guys talk about it. I need to jump off now, but thanks for the AMA. I'll speak to you. Okay, cool. Tammy, any need for a salesperson? Okay, Tammy, Mark at cleanconnect.ai. You can give me a call or send me an email, and love to chat.
I'll type that in there, Tammy. For you. It's cool. All right. Well, feeling pretty good about the session. Every week, feel free to invite whoever you'd like on these calls to ask questions. They're obviously going to evolve and adapt and become as efficient as possible. And we're going to continue to answer questions and take this to a new level to get ready for launch. So it's very exciting what we're doing over here. I'm glad that everybody took the time out of their day to jump on and hear us out. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week if there's no more questions.
Yeah.
And then lastly, one more thing. The marketing team is putting together this thing called Gleam.io. We're setting up a structure for every 5 to 10 people you invite, you get an extra raffle into the whitelist. And we're going to be raffling off whitelist spots every week. And those whitelist spots are specifically for, maybe the dev team could go in more about this, I believe the private sale. And then that will be directly before the public sale.
Yeah. So there's $100,000 public sale that's going on. That's what the whitelist spots are for. Each max wallet size is $1,000. So basically 100 whitelist spots. We've given out 20 as of now to people who do have that influence and do have that reach, as Paul was just talking about. So if you're someone who you think fits that spot, that would want one of those spots where you could bring value, not just in money, but in strategic partnerships or in eyes, that's really important to us. So yeah, those spots are on the table and they are going to fill it fast. And like I said, we got 2 months to give them out, only 80 spots. So we're going to be strategic about who we give it to, but the opportunity is there.
Very cool. And also too, I think we're going to be, we're creating an area where these recordings will go, but also where some of the I call intro videos will be, because I've got like a 10-minute intro video that explains, the whole process in a little more depth than what I gave here today and things like that. So we'll have that video area. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next week.